Hey everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube video as we continue our savings challenge. This is going to be for week 220. That is going to be this upcoming Sunday of next week. So I'm going to start trying to do a video about 7 days out to stay like a week ahead. I was at a point where I was doing it a few weeks ahead, and I was like, okay, I'm too far ahead. So this is about the timing I'm going to do it every week, probably the Sunday before. And that kind of works for me in the way, in the pace I do my budget. So let's get started. This week, we're going to rotate back to our spending account and our emergency fund. A quick recap. The spending account is, or envelope, if you're choosing that method, is basically something you would use for just you. It's not supposed to involve like household things or bills. It's like if you're going out with friends or going out for coffee or buying yourself an item of clothing, that's your money, that's your account. The emergency fund is basically for emergencies, something like a flat tire or an unexpected home expense, like a leaky roof or a water tanker. That's what you're building that account for. So you're doing this for the purpose of saying, okay, I have money that I'm building on the side so that when I have an emergency, that I don't have to take it out of my paycheck. That's the whole point of what this is. It's a slow process that you're grinding, but yet you're adding to it every week so that it grows pretty moderately. And so far we are at 456.54 before we start this week's challenge. So that's just a recap. All right, so we are going to add $14 to our spending and $14 to our emergency fund. So let's go ahead and do that. Again, I've made these deposits already today, so I am already there. Whoops, almost messed up. So that is going to be $90 in our spending account. Let's go ahead and adjust these numbers here. And then we're going to tab on over to our emergency fund. So that's $90 into that account as well. Okay. Also, we're going to go down to, let's go ahead and just scroll down here. Our tithing, again, tithing is a very important part of the process for me, as I believe it should be for everyone. Putting in church and giving to God first is such an important part of this process. It helps you to remember the purpose of why you're doing it. It helps you to balance your budget. Giving to God is acknowledging that, hey, without him, I wouldn't be able to do anything. He is the center of our life and my life and everybody. Again, I'm not here to preach, but I just can say that so many doors have opened because of God. So I give all glory to God for everything I'm able to do. So I make this a very important part of the process to grow the amount that I have been tithing and to continue to grow it. Just as I grow my savings every week, I'm going to grow my tithing amount every week. All right, so we are at 171. I'm going to put $22 into church this coming Sunday. So we're going to grow that amount for the year to 193. So let's go ahead and adjust that. All right. Okay, so that was a quick one. So we are now at $484.54. If you are following this budget and this savings plan, think about where we started, right? We started at $7 in each account. And slowly but surely, we started adding $1 per week. And within 45 days, we are at $484.54. And we haven't even hit 90 days in the year yet. We haven't even hit 60 days in the year. And we are already close to $500. And this is what I was saying. Starting to look at your budget, it's like looking at your life financially in a different way. When you get paid, we all have those events and those things in life that come across where we're not always prepared. Somebody's getting married. You have to worry about if you have something to wear or if you have a gift for that person. That is the purpose of having a spending account and a gifting account. The gifting account allows you to go out and shop for something for that baby shower or that wedding, or a baptism or even a birthday of a relative or friend without having to look at your paycheck and wondering how you're going to squeeze it in. If you want to buy a nice shirt for the event or a shirt and tie or a pair of shoes or a suit, the spending account allows you to do that if you are budgeting it correctly and not always spending it out on dinners and all things like that. That allows you to do things like that. So the purpose of this savings challenge is to teach myself and anyone who's paying attention how to have money on the side without having to squeeze everything out of your paycheck. Because overall, no one's paycheck is that big to where they can continuously take without it setting them back. Again, I encourage everyone to be patient with the process, to continue to stay focused on it, and just don't ever, and I will always say this, in a positive way, don't ever compare your life to anybody else's out here, man. Everybody's budget is different. People make different amounts of money. You have two income households. You have people that have other, sources of revenue coming in. You cannot compare your situation to that. And I use me as an example. I am engaged to be married, and while we're waiting to get married, we both are very independent in what we're doing, and so because of that, we both are independently supporting ourselves. So it takes a lot of effort to do that. But if you take a couple that's already married, or maybe a couple that's living together, they are splitting the same bills that we have individually. So where my apartment is X amount of dollars, this amount comes out of my pay, by myself. Where if you take a couple who live together, who are married or something like that already, they're splitting that money. So let's just use a figure of like $1,200 just for this purpose of the conversation. If a person rent is $1,200, if my rent is $1,200 per se for me, I'm paying $1,200. You understand? But if you have a guy and a girl that lives together, they're only paying $600 each out of their salary. So they're able to have more money. So you can't I couldn't compare myself to that. You know what I'm saying? So, don't get discouraged when you see couples, that have more than you, because they're in a different position than what you are. Instead applaud them. Hey, they're doing great. Use that as motivation to focus more on your salary and more on what you want to do, and use those ideas and say, hey, how can I be better? How can I do better? So that is pretty much, a little message that I'm throwing in there today. Don't get discouraged, man. Don't put yourself in that lane with other people. It's very important not to. I'm going to drop a YouTube video today about that. About how to stay motivated and things like that, and how not to get sucked into that system, because it's so important to do that. So not to do that, I mean. So everybody stay tuned for next week's challenge. We're going to do it again on a Sunday, and that's going to be for the following week. And we're going to rotate back to our gifts account, short-term, long-term, and our medical and dental, which is any type of co-pays we may have for like doctor's appointments or dentists and things like that. So we're going to keep building. We're doing good. We're going to definitely cross the $500 threshold next week and be on our way to $600, and hopefully by the end of the month be crossing $600. So that is going to be about $600 within 60 days, which is really, really good. If you're doing this and you're at that mark, again, I'm a little bit of ahead because I tend to add this challenge to any extra money that I get. So if I get an unexpected check, like I did, got an unexpected refund check from my dentist's office from last year, I went ahead and added that into the challenge. I got another unexpected check from something. So I tend to put everything I have into it. So again, you work at your own pace, you stay positive, stay focused, and we all can do it. We're going to all get there together. All right, people, have a wonderful Sunday. Peace.